In today's video, we're going to go over a list of items that you don't want to do when moving to Cedar City, Utah. And this will help that transition be just a little bit smoother for you and make that moving process a little bit more comfortable. My name is Elizabeth Prisbrey. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group. If you are looking to buy or sell here in Cedar City or really anywhere in Southern Utah, I would love to help you out with that. Please feel free to call, text, or email anytime. That contact information is down below in the description. All right, let's take a look at some mistakes that people often make that might make their transition a little bit uncomfortable for them. Number one is going to be underestimating the weather. Cedar City sits right around 5,800 feet above sea level, so just under 6,000 feet, which means we are a little bit higher in elevation. People often coming from California, Arizona, Texas underestimate our winters. With that higher elevation, we can get snowstorms, we can get icy roads. This year has actually been a little bit more mild than most. We haven't had a lot of snow yet. However, there have been years here where we've gotten quite a bit of snow. For the most part, it will melt off, but be prepared for snow when you move to Cedar City in the wintertime. Invest in some snow gear, some boots, some gloves. You'll want that if you're enjoying the outdoor recreational activities that are around Cedar City. I keep a scraper in my car to scrape off any icy windows, or if it happens to snow when I've gone in to shop, I at least have something that can quickly scrape that off. Now, as far as our summers go, they are pretty sunny and warm, but we are in a desert, so they can be dry. A lot of people tend to underestimate that because we're not quite as hot as places like St. George or Las Vegas. People sometimes don't realize how important it is to hydrate here, still put on sunblock. We are in a desert, and if you are enjoying those outdoor recreational activities, you'll want to make sure that you are protected and drinking plenty of fluids. Number two is not researching water usage or conservation rules. Like much of southern Utah, Cedar City is in a desert. We do have periods of drought, and so the water here is very important to us. There are some restrictions placed on water usage. You can go to the city's website, see when you should be watering your lawns. So when you're putting in your landscaping, be sure to check your city guidelines to avoid any costly changes down the road. Now, of course, those of you coming from, say, Nevada, Arizona, this probably feels familiar to you. You're used to this. It's not a big shock. If you're coming from a more wet state, pay attention to your water bills, pay attention to your water usage, know what you're coming into, and be aware that we are still in a desert. The third thing you don't want to do when moving here is assuming that small town means no growth. Cedar City is growing faster than most people expect. It's a beautiful place to live. It has so much to offer. This brings new subdivisions, a lot more housing. We see businesses popping up all over the place. So our small town may not feel as quiet and remote and sleepy as it might have once been. It is expanding. Now, of course, this expansion can affect you as a home buyer coming in. There may be neighborhoods that are under construction for several years as it expands out. This could change the views of where you currently are. Oftentimes, when I have people coming out, they're looking at properties, they're looking at land, and they're wondering, hey, what's being built here? Or will something go in behind me? Sometimes I know what's going to be built there and that plan is already there. Other times, we don't know yet, but the city is expanding. So I'll often let people know, I can't promise you what is going to go there. There may be a chance that you will lose that view. So choose a spot you're going to be happy in, even if it expands around you. Make sure you're researching your areas. If you don't want to deal with construction, then maybe a more developed area is what you're looking for. This won't leave any questions about what will be built around you. However, if you want a newer home, if you want to be on the outskirts of town, there is that possibility that you don't know what's going to be going up down the road. This is a mistake people often make, is not understanding and realizing that as this town grows, it will change how things look. Number four is failing to account for that altitude change. We talked a little bit about it as we discussed the weather, but if you're coming from a state that's at sea level, when you come up in this altitude, you might feel it in your lungs. It might be a little bit more difficult for you to breathe. If you're coming from a more wet state and it is drier here, that might affect you as well. When I moved here, I came up in elevation. I was used to running outside, so the first few times that I ran here, I could feel that in my chest. It was a difference. But just be aware of that elevation change. The good news is that over time, most people will adapt to that, and a lot of people end up enjoying health benefits of living in a higher altitude. Number five is going to be choosing the wrong neighborhood. Now, this is a big one. When you're coming from another state, you're relocating here, you're not very familiar with the area. Cedar City is a very custom town with neighborhoods that offer a very different feel around it. People will often make quick decisions about where they want to live when they move here, so it's good to sit down and have a conversation. If you have a family, it may be important to you to be near schools or to be near shopping or to be near parks. That is something we can look at together. However, if you're looking for a more rural lifestyle, you want to be away from the traffic, then Enoch might be a possibility for you. Enoch is a suburb of Cedar City. It's actually its own city. It's the city of Enoch. However, the two cities flow right together. It's just north of Cedar City. This area is a little bit more rural. It's more spread out. It was developed on farmland. So if you're looking for more of a quiet rural lifestyle, Enoch might be a better option for you. With that being said, again, Cedar City is expanding, so you never know what's going to be out there in 10, 20, 50 years. For now, Enoch might be a great option if you're looking for that rural lifestyle. I'll have a lot of people that love the historic downtown of Cedar City, but that area is very close to the college. So you are going to get more students. There will be more rentals around that area, and you might have a little bit more traffic as students are going to and from the college. So if you want a more quiet area, that might not be the area that you want to be in. So just really getting together with me, figuring out what you want, what you need, what you desire, and then finding the best area of town that suits your family's needs. Which leads me to number 6, not considering the college town vibe. Southern Utah University, or SUU, is a major presence in Cedar City. It's right around that downtown area. Beautiful college, beautiful grounds, brings a lot of culture and a lot of events to town that we absolutely love and helps create the environment of our town. So of course it has a lot of pros. It brings in the Utah Shakespeare Festival. There are a lot of learning opportunities, whether you go to the college or not. For example, I'm currently involved in the Iron Leaders Academy. This is a program put on by SUU. It allows me to meet with other leaders in different industries and get to know their industries while they get to know mine to help our city work together better. This is a program put on by SUU that I have found to be a great pro in this community. Now, there can be challenges that come with the college town, which we discussed briefly, but that's going to bring more traffic to the town. You are going to have quite a bit of rentals if there isn't enough student housing around the college, so that might happen around town. So again, if you're looking for quieter neighborhoods, you might want to be a little bit further from the college. Number 7 is ignoring the local job market. Cedar City has a smaller job market than, say, Salt Lake City or Las Vegas, two major cities that are within 3 to 4 hours from us. If you're moving here without remote work or without a secured job, or you're not retired, you might face some challenges in finding employment. So make sure you are doing your research ahead of time. See what jobs are available to you. Cedar City is strong in education. We have the college here. We have healthcare. We have tourism. We have manufacturing. We have agriculture. So there's a lot of potential here, but make sure you are looking into that employment and you're securing a job before you pick up and move here. Number 10 is going to be overlooking commute times. In Cedar City, I can mostly say, oh, it's going to be 10 minutes there or 10 minutes here. It's a pretty compact town. However, if you live out in Enoch or if you live in Canaraville, Enoch is north of Cedar City, Canaraville is south of Cedar City, you're looking at longer commute times. You're probably going to be a good 15 minutes into town if you're in Enoch and you're coming in for shopping. If you're in Canaraville, you're closer to 20 minutes. So there is a variety of commute times. What I want you to be aware of, though, is if it is in the winter time and we have snow and icy roads, that could slow your commute time. So being aware of that. Also, if you're out in Enoch, you might be slowed down by a tractor, or when they're bringing sheep down the mountain, you might have sheep going down Main Street and that will be shut off. So that will affect your commute time. If we have a parade or a festival, you might have Main Street shut off and that will affect your commute time. So being aware of all of these things to ensure that you have the right amount of time to get from point A to point B is very helpful. Number 9 is going to be not exploring the outdoor recreational opportunities. I don't know why anyone would not do this. For me, it's the main reason why I moved here, but this actually is a big one for a lot of people. They get wrapped up in their life. They forget of all the beauty we have surrounding us. Cedar City really is a gateway to the parks. We are very close to Bryce Canyon, Zion National Parks, Bryan Head Ski Resort, Duck Creek, Canara Falls. We have so many beautiful places around us to explore that I feel I could spend my lifetime trying to explore them and I would not get to all of them. There's so many trails and lakes and places to hike, and the scenery is so diverse within an hour's drive in either direction that you feel like you're going to a completely different state. So many newcomers will wait too long to take advantage of these activities. And I get it. You're moving, your focus is on other things, your career, maybe getting kids involved in school, that you don't realize just the beauty you're missing out on when you come. One of the things that I love about living here is I can go up the mountain in about 15-20 minutes, go sledding with my son for about an hour, be back in a couple of hours and feel like I had this great adventure, but I still have the rest of my day. And this is just one scenario. Actually, just yesterday, I left with my daughter on our four-wheelers. We went out to Three Peaks and rode all the trails around Three Peaks, and we're back. It took us about 2 hours, and I had so much time left in my day, but I had this amazing adventure with my daughter. So this is definitely a mistake you do not want to make. Take advantage of our recreational opportunities here. Number 10, and I'm surprised this one even happens, but it's assuming it's just like Salt Lake City here. A lot of people associate Salt Lake City and Utah as one and the same. We are a good 4 hours south of Salt Lake City. It is a small town. We have small town culture. We have a very tight-knit community. Although you might find pockets of that in Salt Lake City and Cedar City are very different, even though they are still located in the same state of Utah. Cedar City will give you a much lower pace of life. We have fewer big box stores and a lot more of that small town charm. All right, number 11 is understanding the cost of living. Although Cedar City is more affordable than larger cities like Salt Lake City or like Las Vegas, I definitely saw changes in my utility bills and in my car insurance when I moved to Cedar City. The housing costs have gone up quite a bit in the last few years. Homes are still a better value here than those larger cities, but be aware that they have gone up, and so you may have general expenses that are a lower cost of living, but housing prices are still going up here in Cedar City. So my tip for this will be to make sure we're getting together, you're understanding the housing market, you're making sure that you're purchasing a home that fits your needs and isn't overpriced for the area that it is in. All right, number 12, and this is my last tip, it's going to be skipping community events. As I've said before, Cedar City has a strong sense of community, and we have a lot of town events that take place here. Cedar City is known as Festival City, USA. We have the Utah Shakespeare Festival. We have 4th of July festivals. We have a lighting ceremony festival that takes place in the wintertime. We have the Cedar City Livestock and Heritage Festival. We have many different farmers markets that take place multiple times a week throughout the year. So really just so many community events to bring our town together. Some newcomers stay too focused on their move and their job, and they don't take the time to get out and really realize what the community has to offer. I would encourage you when you move here to get out, try those town events. You do that, you're going to feel like this is home a lot sooner. You're going to meet a lot of amazing people, and in my opinion, it will help you fall in love with the town even more. All right, we ran through those 12 mistakes people make when moving to Cedar City really pretty quickly, but it gives you an idea of the things you might want to be considering or looking at to make sure that your move here is a smooth transition. If you have any questions or you'd like to leave an experience down below in the comments, we welcome that. Remember, if you are looking to buy or sell here in Cedar City or Southern Utah, my name is Elizabeth Prisbrey. I'm with Stratum Real Estate Group, and I really would love to help you out with that. Please feel free to reach out anytime. I promise you I will respond. All right, until next time, have a wonderful day.